Hello everyone. Good evening to everyone. I'm Chiranjeev, and today me and my colleague Shreya are going to giving a session on the topic of overview of Kafka Connect. Before we going to start the session, we should know about the etiquettes of knowledge. Shreya, please change the slide. Yeah. The first etiquette is you should be punctual. You should respect the session timing. And the session etiquette is after the session, don't forget to give the feedback. It will be very helpful for us. And the third one is please be silent during the session and feel free to drop if you have any urgent meetings. And the last one is avoid the chit chat during the sessions. Okay. Now moving over onwards to the agenda of our session. First, we will look the introduction part of the Kafka Connect. Then we will see why we need Kafka Connect. Then we will see how the Kafka Connect works. Then we will move towards the architecture of Kafka connectors. Then we will take a look of features of Kafka Connect. And then finally, Shreya will show our demo to you. Let's begin with the introduction part. Kafka Connector is a framework which is used to connect Kafka with external application and databases. It is designed to run Kafka cluster to read data from the Kafka topics and write data in the Snowflake. Snowflake basically a inbuilt database of Kafka Connect. In general, a single application can publish too many topics and a single application can subscribe to multiple topics with the help of snowflakes. The Kafka cluster supports running and scaling out connectors, that is component that support reading and writing between the external systems. Now I will tell you how the Kafka connector works. Shreya, please change the slide. Yeah. You can deploy Kafka Connect as a standalone process that runs on a single machine or a distributed scalable fault tolerant service supporting an entire organization. Kafka Connect provides a low barrier to entry and a low operational overhead. You can start small with a standalone environment for deployment and testing, and then scale up to a full production environment to support a large organization data pipeline. Kafka Connect includes two types of connectors. First is source connector and second is sync connector. Source connector ingest entire database and stream table updates to Kafka topics. A source connector can also collect matrices from all your applications server and store them into Kafka topics. And second one is sync connector. Sync connector delivers data from Kafka topics into secondary indexes such as Elasticsearch or batch system such as Hadoop offline analysis. Now we will understand why Kafka came into existence. Shreya, please move on the slide. Kafka Connect is a free open source component of Apache Kafka that work as centralized data hub for simple data integration between databases. The existence of Kafka Connect make it easier for us to transfer huge set of data and process the data transfer is very scalable and reliable. If we look in the broader picture of Kafka Connect, then we can say it consumes the data from external application like Spring Boot application using Kafka source connector and kept them into Snowflake, that is a database of Kafka connector uh, using the sync connector. Now let us see the basic architecture of Kafka Connect. Kafka Connect has three major models in its design. First is connector model, second is worker model, and the third one is data model. Inside connector model, we have multiple workers as shown in the diagram. Each worker contains multiple connector tasks as shown in the diagram. A cluster can have multiple workers and workers runs on the clusters only. In Kafka Connect, we have multiple workers, but those worker runs only in the clusters, and the tasks are automatically load balanced. If there any if there any failure comes, then the tasks are automatically load balanced. Tasks in Kafka Connect act as a producer or consumer depending on the situation. Each task you have shown in the figure are act as a Kafka producer or consumer. It depends on the type of connector we are using. Kafka Connect cluster has multiple loaded connectors. Each connector have multiple loaded connectors so that it can run smoothly. Now let us jump into the use case of Kafka. Kafka connector is used in synced operation for files like database, etc. It consumes the huge set of data in a compressed form. Kafka Connect is a tool for scalable and reliable streaming data between Apache Kafka and external data systems or application. It makes it simple, quickly defined connector that moves larger data set and into and out of Kafka. Using Kafka connector, we can process data from outdated application into new system. These are the major use cases of the Kafka connectors. Now let us jump into the features of Kafka Connect. Okay. The first feature is a framework for connecting external system with Kafka. It means it simplifies the development and deployment and management of connectors. And the next one is distributed and standalone mode. It means it helps us to deploy a large cluster by leveraging the distributed nature of Kafka, as well as setup for deployment, testing, small production deployment. And as we can see, the next one is REST interface. It means we can manage the connector by using the REST APIs. And the next one is automatic offset management. It means that Kafka Connect help us to handle the offset commit process, which saves us the trouble of implementing the error-prone part of connector development manually. And the last one is distributed and scalable by default. It means that Kafka Connect uses the existing group management protocol. We can add more workers to scale up the Kafka connector. Now we will look into the demo part. Shreya will show you some demo. Shreya, over to you.
Hi everyone. So now we will see the demo where I will show you how we can install the Confluent server on our systems. Just a second. So yeah. So basically the first requirement to install the Confluent server is we should have the Linux system, and other is we should have Java installed into our system. Like I do have both the things, so I can start with the download of the Confluent server. So before downloading, let me tell you, we have two ways to download the Confluent server. First, we can download it from the portals by giving our email ID, and second, we can use this curl command. So when we use this, so I'll try to download using this command. So when I download using this command, it will take 2 to 3 minutes. As it is already downloaded into my system, so it may show some error also if not. Let's wait and see.
Shreya, as it is already downloaded, you can unzip and continue.
Yeah, we can do that. So yeah, so as it is already downloaded and I have unzipped it also. So when you download using this command, then using unzip we can unzip that. After that, what we need to do, we need to configure these two environmental variables to run our Confluent control. So after unzipping the file, I will run both these commands into my terminal so that the environmental variables will be set up. And when after the setting up of environmental variable, we need to start the Confluent server using Confluent local service start, this last command. uh, as it is downloading again, so I cannot show you that. But when this command will be executed, then we can log into our Confluent server using the local host and port 9091. This UI will be visible to us. So now, what is this, and why we need this Confluent? So what basically Confluent does is, it can be called as the control center, and it is used to monitor the Kafka using the dashboard and the administrative tools which it provides us. The first page which we have opened this is the overview page, where we can see number of clusters running, like this we can see. So when we go to this overview page, the first tab which we are seeing is the topics. So topics will give you the overview of the topics, which means production and consumption specific to the topic. The next we can see, when we go to this topic, then we can see the overview, where we can see the production, consumption, availability of the topics. Along with this, we have the next tab of messaging. And right now I do not have any message, so it is not visible. But when we have the message in our topic, then it will be visible over here. The third tab we have is the schema, where we know that Kafka data and Kafka topics are always stored in the form of key and value pair. So here we can have what type of value we want and what type of key we want. So here we can see key value schema present. And the last tab is all configuration of the topic, like number of replicas, number of partisans, etc. The next page is the connect. It is a part of Kafka Connect feature. It manages, monitor, and configure the source and sync connectors. The next is KSQLDB. Here we can execute the queries against the topics data and browse the and download the messages from the query result. It will also allow us to add or stream or table against the topic data by running the customized query. Like if you go to here, you can write your customized query. These are the different features: streaming, tables. The next is consumer. Here it will give you the list of all the consumer groups present under your cluster, and for your customer group, it will show you the number of messages behind the number of consumers we have and what are the topics it is consuming. The next is replication. So replication will monitor and configure the replicated topics. At the moment we do not have any topic replicated, that's why it is not showing. And the last one is cluster setting. So it is generally a setting about the cluster name, cluster ID. And now it is running to our local system. It is so it is showing as localhost 9092. So yeah, that's it. In the next part of the session, we will see how we can use JDBC source connector and sync connector with Apache Kafka. Thank you.